Hey Crock Posse, Aunt Lou here, and today I have a delicious treat for you. Good gravy pork chops in your crock pot. All while having a whole lot of fun. Hey Crock Posse, Aunt Lou here, and today we are going to be making one of our favorite recipes and one of our readers' favorites recipes, crock pot good gravy pork chops. So this all started whenever Mama called me up and said, I have a recipe that you need to try. And so she just grabbed some things she had in her kitchen, thrown it all together, and of course, because she's Mama and amazing in the kitchen, she came up with an awesome recipe. And so this started with chicken, and we have it with pork chops. I think we have it with pork loin, or pork roast, and it's just so good. And when I was trying to figure out what to call this new creation of Mama's, I was talking to Cris and I said, I really don't know what to call this. And she said, well, what flavors stand out? I said, well, there's not any flavor that stands out per se, but it's just got a good gravy. And she said, well, call it that. So now you have our good gravy recipes. And so we will start this recipe with 2.5 pounds of pork chops. My pork chops are about that thick, and they 6 of them is about 2.5 pounds. They fit perfectly in the bottom of my crock pot. I already have them in there since I don't have a sink right behind me like we do at Cris and Mike's house, and that way I'm not running out of the screen for, you know, a minute or two. So anyway, the other things you need for this: pepper jack chicken, chicken broth, gravy mix, ranch dip mix, cream of mushroom soup, and then I am going to try this with golden mushroom soup. The original recipe calls for beefy mushroom soup, and I've heard from a lot of readers that people are having a hard time finding it in the store. And I checked and I couldn't find anything where it's discontinued or that there's a shortage. I'm not sure why people aren't able to find it, but when I went into the store yesterday to get groceries to make this video, I couldn't find it either, but I could find golden mushroom. So we've suggested it as a possible alternative, so we're going to give it a try today. But if you can't find beefy mushroom soup, it works great. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our soups and we're going to spread them in here. And so again, I already have my pork chops in here, so this is just putting it right over the top. Which beefy mushroom soup is a little bit more liquidy than golden mushroom soup, but I think with all the other liquid ingredients in this that we're going to be just fine. Okay, so that was the golden mushroom, or you can use beefy mushroom. Next is cream of mushroom. Spread that out. Now, a trick that Mama uses is that she takes a little bit of chicken broth and she pours it in her cream of mushroom can so she can make sure she gets all of that yummy soup out. Now, when I asked Mama, I said, okay, how much chicken broth did you use? She's like, I don't know, I just put a little bit in. So we've settled on a 1/4 cup so that you guys can have a measurement. But if you've ever heard Cris and I talk about getting recipes from Mama, she's a whiz in the kitchen, and so she just kind of like throws things together. And so especially for some of her tried and true recipes from my childhood, getting measurements for that is just, yeah, it ain't happening. So we're gonna swish that around in there a little bit. Whoa, just splashed on myself, and then we're gonna pour that in there. Now we're gonna take our mixes. We're going to sprinkle those on top. I'm just trying to get it as evenly as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, which is a good thing for me because I am far from perfect. And the original recipe called for a brown gravy mix. Michael picked up this part of the ingredients for me, and they had pork gravy mix, so he grabbed that instead. you can just go with what's in your cabinets, what you can find at your store. Just adapt it as you need to. Alright, we got that all spread around. Now we got our pepper jack chicken. Or pepper jack chicken. Pepper jack cheese. And so the more cheese you put in, the thicker your sauce will be. So if you want it runnier, you don't have to put as much cheese in. If you want it thicker, then add more cheese in. Now, we have a lot of people ask if the pepper jack cheese makes it too spicy. Well, I will just be straight and up front with you that I am a complete and total wimp when it comes to spice. Like, my eyes can start watering with stuff that my husband is like, that's not even hot. And I'm like, yes, it is. And so, but he doesn't think so. So I love this recipe. And so if you are not a spicy loving person, you can still eat this. All right, that's all we got. So now we're going to cover and cook on low for 6 hours or high for 3 to 4 hours. We just want to make sure that the internal temperature of the pork chops reaches the proper temperature, and then it's ready to go. All right, and we will be back in 3, 2, and we're back. And so it's been actually a little less than 3 hours because this here crock pot cooks hot. So my pork chops were actually up to like 190 degrees, so hopefully I didn't dry them out. I knew better than to just let this one go because I know this cooks hot. And so if you know yours cooks hot, maybe check it a little bit before 3 hours. It's just better safe than sorry, right? So now I'm going to take the lid off, and my melted cheese is on top. So I'm just going to take that cheese and I am going to stir it in to get my sauce just a little bit thicker by stirring in that cheese. Hang on, it's being stubborn. I know that's never happened for you guys, right? Everything always goes absolutely perfectly. It is really wanting to stick together. I think it's probably from where I layered them because I just went ahead. I know that we like the sauce thicker, so I put them on there, which means some of the pieces had to be layered, and so they're not wanting to come apart. They like each other. They're saying, don't take us apart. No, no. All right. So let's see if I can pull a chop out here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So pretty. Get some of that good gravy. And there's plenty for the pork chops. So, oh my goodness, I forgot a fork. Hang on. I'm back. All right. So, there is that delicious gravy and that yummy pork chop. And, ow, okay, the bottom of the plate is hot. And so we're just gonna, oh, yep, fork tender. I wasn't sure if it, oh, wow, yeah. Wasn't sure if it's gonna be there for a second. They normally are, but must have had the grain of the meat wrong. So there's a pretty little bite. So let's give it a try. Yes, I still have to squat down because I still have the short tripod. I really don't want to burn my tongue. I actually didn't dry them out, so yay! But that gravy helps to keep them nice and moist and just tender and juicy. Love them. So anyway, if you like this yummy deliciousness in front of you, give this video a thumbs up. If you have not joined our Crock Posse family, hit the subscribe button below. We would love to have you. And if you would like to see a recipe every single time we post one, hit the little button called the ding-a-ling And no matter what you do, laugh often, eat good food, and speak life. Bye!
Can I try this now?
Yes, go try it. It's hot. Is it kid approved? This is how it goes in a food blogger's home. The kids know they have to wait until the video is over or the pictures are taken. That's how it goes.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're fun,